Hey, in this video, we're going to discuss the BRRRR Method. We're going to discuss what it is and how it works. The BRRRR Method is a proven long-term strategy that really works over a period of time. However, a lot of people like to focus on fixing and flipping, which is also lucrative. But again, that's short term. The BRRRR Method consists of buying, rehabbing, renting, refinancing, and repeating this strategy over and over again. I mean, it's a very simple but effective strategy. Look, if you want to continue to live paycheck to paycheck, then don't follow this strategy. Plain and simple. Don't do it and keep working your job, and you can do other things. But if you want something that's proven, that works time and time again, then follow this strategy. So in this video, we're going to discuss every single step. Hey, welcome to the Nehemiah Jeffries Show, and in this show, we talk about entrepreneurship and investing for value. If you like this content, which I know you will, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button and also the like button since you're down there. So let's get right to it. The first thing you got to do when you are thinking about the BRRRR Method is to buy correctly. Now, what this means is you never buy properties at market value. You only buy properties that are undervalued. And the reason why is because, for obvious reasons. Number one, you're able to have equity from the day that you invest or buy that house. Also, it's always good to include a rental valuation in that property. What that means is that the mortgage is relatively low compared to how much money you can get in rent. In other words, when you rent out the house to a tenant, you'll have some money left over after the mortgage and insurance and taxes are paid for. It's called passive income, even though we all know that that's not really passive income, but that's what you have to do. So again, you want to buy properties that are below market value, typically in the range of about no less than 70%. What I mean no less than is that you don't want to buy 80% below market value, 90% below market value. You want to buy 70% and below. If you find a deal that's 60% below market value, that's really good. Now, that includes the rehab. That includes closing cost fees. It all has to equal 70% of the market value. What that means is you'll have a 30% equity in that house. Now, if you get it down to 60%, that's 40% of equity. If you get it down to 50%, then, that's more money for you. So the name of the game is to buy correctly. Number two, it's rehabbing. Rehabbing in the BRRRR Method is a critical component to buying a house. Now, you have to make sure that you have 4 to 5 contractors come to your house to give you a quote on how much it's going to cost you to renovate that house. Once you do that, you put that into the offer that you submit to the seller when you buy the house. Now, you always want to give yourself at least 10 to 15% buffer, more than what your general contractor would say. So let's say to rehab a house is $20,000, you just may want to put $25,000 or account for $30,000 because things always happen. Now, when you get past that point, you want to hire licensed professionals to do the work for your house. If plumbing work needs to be done, licensed plumber. Electrical work needs to be done, licensed electrical. Contractor, make sure that he's licensed, because you don't want to have anybody come to your house and you pay good money for somebody that's unlicensed and then they do not know what they're doing and it causes you more pain and more money down the road. So always hire a licensed contractor. Also within this, always pay contractors for work in place. What that means is you never pay a contractor in advance for work that's not completed. So once that contractor finishes his job, then that's when you pay him the balance. Now, they may say to you, oh, well, I need this amount of money up front. Why? You don't need that much. You don't need that money up front for anything. The only thing they're going to need money for up front for is material. And what you do is you can go with the contractor to the supply house and get the materials that's needed. You may want to give the contractor a few $100s because the contractor may need some money for miscellaneous things that come up that wasn't really accounted for. So that's fine. But again, never pay the contractor in advance for work not completed. Number three, rent. Renting is another critical component to the BRRRR Method. What you want to do is make sure that the amount of rental that's in that area is higher than your mortgage, insurance, and taxes. That's all it really is. It's just cash flow. Now, once you figure that out, which you should have figured out when you bought the house, the market rate rent is in that area before you bought the house. I think in the beginning it's best not to buy a house unless you can rent it out just in case you can't sell it. But we'll talk about that later. But remember to analyze that rental amount before you buy the house. Analyze the mortgage amount before you buy the house, so you can estimate approximately how much money you will make. And so now, once the house is fully rehabbed and it's fully renovated, now you just got to vet each tenant you have in the house. Please do background checks, do credit checks, make sure they have money saved, do also ask for references, so therefore you can call people that they know to vouch for them, because you don't want a slouchy tenant. You don't want to deal with squatters. You don't want to deal with any of that. So please vet and analyze your tenants very well before you allow them to rent your house. And then the way to market or advertise, the way I did it was I just put a for rent sign in front of the house, and you get 15 or 20 calls a day. So that's very easy. Some people like to market on Zillow, Redfin, whatever. But if you're in an area which you should have researched before you bought the house, then you would know that that house has a high demand for people looking for homes. So you only want to look for homes where people are looking to rent out homes, especially when you're first starting out. This is not a fix and flip. This is the BRRRR method. Moving along. Now, as soon as you have a lease signed with the tenant, you can start the refinance process. Essentially, you speak to your hard money lender, and the hard money lender tells you yes, they can do it. Obviously, you have enough equity in your home to do it, so therefore they can refinance you at about 70%. Sometimes they do 65% or 60% depending on your credit. However, with that being said, they will give you a 30-year term and the average interest rate. Right now, interest rates, I believe, for hard money lenders are about in the 5% range, meaning that that's what they'll charge you every single month, amortized over 30 years. Essentially, the deposit that you put down, you're going to get that money back after you refinance. So that means that you will have some cash left over where you can use that money for another deal. So that's pretty much what you got to do. You got to speak to a hard money lender, bring him your property, and then the hard money lender is going to say yes, and he's going to tell you to sign your paperwork, and that's it. The main thing you got to do is just get an appraisal. The appraisal is going to cost you about $600 or $700, and then from there they give you the cash. It's pretty much that simple. I mean, it's not rocket science. They give you the cash. You should walk away with your deposit amount and your closing cost fees you put into the deal, and then from there you go out there and you look for deals that you can buy undervalued. The name of the game is buying deals undervalued and making sure you don't get ripped off from the rehabbers or the contractors doing the work inside the house. This is the fifth step, repeating. Just repeat, and you'll never go broke. You will never go broke if you buy and look for undervalued deals. Now you may say, how can I find undervalued deals? Well, that's when you gotta be constantly submitting offers to banks, to people you know, to friends, to family, everybody that's on the market, constantly submitting under market value offers to owners. It doesn't matter if you're far off, you never know. They'll give you a call 3-4 months down the road and be like, they're ready to rock and roll on the deal. You just never know. So submit 15, 20, 25 offers constantly, and trust me, something will break. Look, if you like this content, there's another video that we're going to discuss how to refinance more specifically. You can tune into that video. See you later.